An earthquake with a magnitude of 5.3 has been recorded in the south of Iran. This was reported on October 17 on the website of the U.S. Geological Survey. As scientists have established, the origin of the natural phenomenon lay at a depth of 10 kilometers. On the map it can be seen that the epicenter of the disaster was located 61.5 kilometers north of the city of Bandar Abbas, the population of which is 352,000 people. No information on casualties and damage has not yet been received. Earlier, on October 16, an earthquake with magnitude 6.4 was recorded off the coast of the U.S. state of Alaska. Underground tremors were registered at 11:35 local time, 14:35 Moscow time. The epicenter of the earthquake was located 65 kilometers to the north from the town of Adak. The origin was located at the depth of 187 kilometers. Record wind speed was recorded in Taiwan. The wind in Taiwan reached a record speed during the passage of the typhoon 95 meters per second. The typhoon caused huge damage to the southern part of the island. More than 200,000 houses were left without electricity. Trees and tall structures fell, several buildings were destroyed. About 200 people were injured. Schools and offices were closed on the island, air flights and ferries were cancelled. Taiwan Central Meteorological Administration announced a storm warning due to the approach of Typhoon Koinu. In several areas of the island cancelled classes in schools and suspended the work of office establishments. At least 93 flights and 97 ferry services were cancelled in Taiwan due to the approaching storm. Heavy rains have hit Spain, with basements of houses and roads flooded in Catalonia. Torrential rains on Sunday and Monday affected other parts of Spain, and the storms will bring more rainfall in the coming days. Catalonia's fire department received more than 130 calls from local residents on Sunday to deal with the aftermath of the inclement weather, mainly due to flooding of buildings and cars and fallen trees. The storms also made adjustments to rail transportation. Fortunately, no one was injured. Heavy downpours also took place in the Balearic Islands, particularly Mallorca. On Sunday, part of the city of Palma was underwater. Strong winds and heavy rains are expected on the Iberian Peninsula as a result of the storm Babet approaching Western Europe. An earthquake with magnitude 5.5 has been registered in the south of Iran. Specialists of the European Mediterranean Seismic Center have registered an earthquake with magnitude 5.5, which occurred in the south of Iran in 54 kilometers from the port city of Bandar Abbas. The earthquake was registered at 19.26. Epicenter was located at 54 kilometers to the northwest from the city of Bandar Abbas. The origin lay at a depth of 7 kilometers. Information about possible victims and destructions was not received at the moment. Earlier on Tuesday morning, seismologists reported that the earthquake with a magnitude of 5.5 occurred in the south of Iran in the province of Hormozgan. In Colorado, a freight train derailed on an overpass near the city of Pueblo. As a result of the accident, the bridge partially collapsed and its weight crushed the passing under it a truck. It is reported that the driver of the truck was killed. Rescue services continue to work at the site. A section of I-25 highway in Colorado was closed in both directions after a coal train fell off the bridge onto the roadway, state authorities said. Emergency crews are working to clear overturned train cars and scattered coal at the derailment site near the town of Pueblo, about 45 miles south of Colorado Springs, the Colorado State Patrol said. Photos of the scene posted online by the State Patrol show at least 10 train cars derailed and tumbled off the tracks and down a bridge and nearby embankment, covering the ground with coal. A bridge crossing both lanes of the highway appears to have partially collapsed, and a crushed truck was underneath. State Patrol spokesman Gary Cutler told CNN that the male driver of the truck was killed.
Semi-truck was trapped underneath the bridge when the train derailed, killing the driver. We also saw hazmat crews on scene last night, checking in on diesel and anything else that might be inside that semi-truck.
Devastating flooding in Mallorca. 9 dead, half a dozen missing. At least 9 people have died, and 6 are missing in flash flooding on the Spanish island of Mallorca. According to El País, it is one of the worst floods Spain has experienced in a quarter century. Among the dead is a British couple who died while traveling in a cab. The whereabouts of the driver of the vehicle are unknown. 6 people are reported missing, among them British nationals and locals. 3 people have been injured. Another 200 people have been displaced from their homes. The rushing torrent in the municipality of San Lorenzo swept through the historic center, picking up cars and flooding dozens of homes. Many residents were stuck on balconies and houses, waiting to be rescued. Dozens of drivers were trapped on the roads because of the flooding. Strong torrents of water flooded transformers, so the affected areas were left without light. 11 roads in Mallorca remain closed. Emergency services have asked 8,000 residents of San Lorenzo to stay in their homes and leave them only in case of emergencies. Learning in schools has been suspended. Local authorities describe the disaster as devastating. The regional government of the Balearic Islands has asked the Ministry of Defense for additional help in coping with the effects of the bad weather. From Valencia, 80 soldiers and 7 emergency military vehicles have been sent to Mallorca. The Prime Minister of Spain will go to Mallorca to visit the affected areas. Powerful floods hit Thailand. Water up to the chest, many dead. In Thailand, tropical storm Diamu has caused widespread flooding. Already known about 7 dead. Affected almost half of the country. According to the TV station, 7 people have died and 2 are missing as a result of the disaster. Local authorities announced that 1,995 households in 30 provinces, mostly in the north, northeast and center of the country, have been affected. Heavy rains are reportedly still forecast in many regions. Thailand's capital Bangkok is also preparing for big water. The city is located in the lowlands and is vulnerable to flooding. In many places the water has accumulated up to the chest. People are rescuing their belongings on boats. Nothing works in the affected areas, even grocery stores. Recall, last weekend a tropical storm swept across the northern part of Thailand, causing flooding, which affected almost 59,000 families. Note that Thailand has a tropical climate, and in the rainy season from July to October, there are often floods causing damage of millions of dollars. Mexico's Popocatépetl volcano has exploded 3 times. Mexico's Popocatépetl volcano has awakened, keeping the people of the state of Puebla on alert. At least 3 significant explosions have been recorded in recent days, Tribuna de la Bahía reports. A total of 195 low-intensity eruptions accompanied by emissions of water vapor, volcanic gases and ash were recorded in the 24-hour period up to 11 a.m. On Saturday around 2:20 p.m., the giant emitted an impressive column of smoke accompanied by ash and gases. The smoke cloud was visible from several kilometers away, but because of the ash did not reach the city of Puebla. The second and third explosions occurred around 1642 and 1711. No significant risks to the population were reported. Authorities warned residents in the northeastern neighborhoods of Puebla and the southern, eastern and western neighborhoods of Mexico City of a possible ashfall.